Hello everybody, SirMonkeySuit here, back again with Cycle Pass 1, episode 12. And in the last episode, it's kind of taken quite a turn, because the first real character that has any sort of real connection to a main character has died. And honestly, I'm still not happy with how Akane didn't have as much conviction to save a friend as I thought she really should have. You know what I mean? I'm not as angry as I was in the moment, because honestly it's just like fucking but I'm still not happy with, you know what I mean, a lack of conviction there. I think like the fact that she just shot both fucking shells into nothingness was just stupid. It was just ridiculous. So, you know, there's that. But anyway, aside from that, you know, that whole downer thing, the whole thing with Makishima, him lowering his coefficient the whole time, was a really good scene. I like that, you know, so that was really cool. So yeah, it was what is it? What's her name? I can't even remember what her name is. I do have it somewhere. Wait a minute, is it on this one? Yuki's her name, yeah. So yeah, she ended up dying. We had the Senguji died, the cyborg guy who, like, you know, basically swapped out all of his human body aside from his brain for cyborg, like to become a cyborg essentially to extend his life. He died, and yeah, I mean that is pretty much all that happened that last episode. It was all basically centered around Makishima last episode, and sort of him getting his time to give us the reasons as to why he is doing the things that he's doing. And I think it was a cool scene, the fact that he was gradually lowering his coefficient. I thought that was really cool, and it does show it shows the flaw in the system. Even though we all know it's been there from the beginning, this is where it becomes incredibly plain as day. So yeah, so that's really cool. But yeah, other than that, I don't think there's anything else to really talk about. So yeah, there's going to be this for the patrons that are watching this. Episode 12 will be the only one out today, because last week there was only episode 11, and I want to keep it on the sort of, you know, the 11, 12, 13, 14, you know what I mean, coming out on the same day. So that means that, like, when it comes to the end, I can put out both like the last two episodes of the season out on the same day, and not have them be like, you know, not having to make you guys wait for the final episode, you know. I figure it's better to do it now, and get just, you know, put out one for now. So yeah, so episodes 13 and 14 will be out on the Monday for you patrons, okay? Alright, so yeah, I don't think there's anything else to really talk about, so we're just going to get into this and see what we get, so let's go. 3 years ago. Damn, got a band here. What is this, like a battle of the bands or whatever? Oh, it's the fucking yeah, it's one of the enforcers, man, isn't it? That's right. Just gonna sell here. It's really. Is this like the rehabilitation stuff? Like if you go to see a therapist or whatever? Is this what it?
シビラが君に適性ありと診断を下した。
Oh, it's a no opening. I'm gonna miss the other one. Still good. Like it. Good opening.
職業的成功者は個人の能力を最大限に生かし安定した生活を保障します。すみません。国塚さんですね。貸出品、購入品が届いています。ないんですけど、購入申請したアニーボールの件、
Guitar
購入
strings.
許可が下りていません。どうして？もう何度も申請してるんです。再度購入申請をしてください。
が変化しました。ダークイエローです。
大丈夫よ。落ち着いて。最近は色相も随分安定してきてるし、すぐ退院できるわよ。今が大事な時よ。辛抱して。サプリ置いてくわね。
They say she'll get a leave soon, but
北沢に出入りしていることが分かった。俺たちはそこで何らかの反社会的コミュニティが形成されていると考えている。協力してほしいんだ。君は以前北沢を拠点に音楽活動をしていたそうだね。
なんだ。
笹山だ。待ちくたびれたとよ。
あれ鴻上は仕事だバカ。元シビラ公認芸術家か。今度の候補生は。ああ、公認芸術家様がなんでまた潜在犯に。さあな。ただ芸術活動にのめり込むうちに色相が曇った例は多いと聞く。
私に何ができるっていうのよ。なんで私なの？笹山って待ちくたびれたって言ってた。
ああ、
執行官？
そうだ。
本当に連れ歩いてるのね。飼い犬みたいに。
ここを出てまた音楽でもやるつもりか？
関係ないでしょ。
23回もギターの弦を購入申請してる。爪も未だに丁寧に整えてる。
もういいでしょ。
oh damn, they're actually allowed to show that. That's not even like trying to rip off like, or like make a.
弥生。
That's nuts.
公認なんかとつるんで色相曇るわよ。何であげる。弥生、もう帰るよ。でも私聞いていきたい。シビラの顔色を伺いながらやる音楽の方がろくでもないと思うけど。
They've got like certified music genres that sort of lend well to like the symbol system. Is that what they're talking about there?
あの辺りはオーナー不在のまま放置されているビルが多いので、そこをみんなが好き勝手利用しているというのが実際のところ。
イベントの開催日時や場所はコミュニティ内の人間しか把握できないということか。
はい。ただ中でも名の知れたスペースがいくつかあって、あなたたちの言う反社会的コミュニティが本当にあるなら、彼らが拠点にしているのはイエローフットか27クラブ、いずれかの可能性が高いと思われます。
Hello everybody, just a reminder that if you go into the link in the description to my Patreon and get the early access tier for $5 a month, you can gain access to 4 episodes of Psychopaths every single week. So that is, you know, normally the general public only get 2 episodes a week. If you're on early access Patreon, you get them a week early and you get 4 episodes a week as opposed to the usual 2. So if you're clamoring for more Psychopaths reactions from me, that's where you want to go. Again, to the link in the description to my Patreon, and it's the early access tier for $5 a month. On with the video. Of course, if that antisocial is going to be fucking like metal fucking rock music in it. Of course it is.
了解だ。
ずいぶんのんきなのね。
まあ慣れてしまったんだろう。そこに身を置き続ければ全てを日常として飲み込んでしまう。
俺しかり執行官しかり、補正施設から正常な状態で社会復帰する人間は稀だ。いや、ほとんどいない。
Once they're in there, they're stuck in there.
ほとんどの潜在犯が慣れるんだ。
I thought so. I thought that acted way too nice, saying you're gonna get out of here soon, but you're not though, yeah.
そうしてあの場所に沈み込んでいく。
これは
ドミネーター、シビラシステムが我々監視官と執行官にだけ所持を許した。奪われ続けることから抜け出すには自分が奪う側に回ることさ。君の ID を登録してあるから
おい、勝手なことを。
現場では何が起こるかわからない。
Well, what's wrong with giving it to her? Because she can only use it on people who apparently deserve it, and Ganoza's like goes by that system anyway, doesn't he? Recognize the music. Oh no, she's gonna have to take out like.
慎重にな。
She's gonna have to take out that person, isn't she?
カクテルなんて君たち興奮だな。公安局です。
犯罪係数オーバー150。
あのバカ、慎重に釣っただろ。
いいか、ここから動くな。絶対にだ。国塚。
あの声は絶対にリナだった。
来るな、シビラの犬め。
犯罪係数98、執行対象ではありません。
And
シビラの言いなりになって人を殺す盲目のファシストめ。
熱いね。
I'm not very fucking calmly.
自然を享受できる世界だ。
リナ、弥生。どこも怪我してない。ステージから結構距離あったから公安局の人たちと一緒に。公安？
リナ悪い。待たせたな。
何本残ってるの？
Oh, there's Molotovs as well. Nice.
犯罪係数
大物だ。
Oh.
見ての通りシビラを打倒するのレジスタンスよ。処刑されちゃうかもしれないのに。なんか思ってたのと違った。一緒に戦わない？そんなのダメよ。どうして？あなたは公認だから？形ばかりの選挙でお飾りみたいな政治家を選んでも官僚がみんなシビラシステムに選ばれてる以上。でも私たちの音楽はきっと大きな力になるわ。そんなことがしたかったわけじゃないの。弥生、そんなことじゃない。私はずっとただリナとまた一緒にステージに立ちたいって。それだけじゃダメなのよ。私ね、弥生が収容された時分かった。自分がいかに無力か。変わらなくてよかったのに。でももう変わっちゃったのね。それはお願いリナ、私と一緒に来て。今ならまだ間に合う。このままこんなこと続けてたら本当に取り返しのつかないことになっちゃう。構成プログラムを受けて。私を撃つ気？それでリナを引き止められるなら本当に撃つわよ。
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say like.
トリガーをロックします。待ってリナ。
執行官じゃないただの潜在犯にドミネーターを渡すなんて前代未聞だ。
いい経験になると思ったんでな。
Oh, so he acted like.
シビラの目に狂いはなかったということだ。すぐ戻る。じゃあ。
私執行官になる。
あ？
私執行官になる。
私と君神様どこへ行ってしそう Never walk on あなたと行くのは
Alright, episode 12, right? We've got a sort of Yayoi backstory, you know, building up the side characters a lot more, which I like. I like it when, you know, you can have these sort of episodes that are focused. And normally it doesn't even have to be like a full episode, but, you know what I mean? Like, when you have it, you know, alongside, you know, not just backstory of like side characters, but then you have also like what happened with other characters beforehand as well, and you can mix them all together, and you kind of just increase the sort of the character development of like, you know, a lot of the cast. It just makes it a hell of a lot more. It makes it for a whole lot better story that later on, as the story continues. Because, you know, I always feel like when it comes to story, characters are at the forefront, and if the characters are good, then, you know, at the end of the day, those are the like, characters are the, you know, they're the tools that you use to tell the story. So, you know, to have good characters is to turn, like, you know, a good show into a great show, or a bad show into an average show into a good show, so on, you know. So so yeah, it's nice to have a sort of break as well, because I feel like since the show started, it's sort of been like, you know, like it would have like different cases, you know, and they would have like these different cases be like sort of arcs over like, you know, a couple episodes or whatever. It started off with like 1 episode cases, and then turned into like 2 episode cases, and was on with like 3 episodes and shit. And, you know, it did turn into like an overarching thing with getting Makishima involved and whatnot. But yeah, it's kind of nice to have that sort of that sort of episode to kind of break it up a bit. And I think, you know, the fact that it's, you know, this is like, we're on the second half of the show now, to have that sort of be like the in between, then that is nice. I am wondering if this is the point where we kind of get into the overarching story now, and it's not just case by case basis. I mean, I guess that's kind of like the whole thing of Makishima's like way of doing things, is, you know, that's the connection anyway, is that, you know, all of these different cases have the same, they all come from Makishima anyway. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it kind of continues on, with the fact that we know, like, the MWPSB are aware of who Makishima is now, and that's who they're looking for. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how they come up with this second half of the season. And the opening's good as well, and the ending. The fucking, you know, normally what'll happen generally with it when it comes to openings is like, you know, the first one is the one that you sort of set the precedent for like all of the other shows' openings. And, you know, more often than not, even though, you know, later on you might actually become accustomed to, like, you know, a new opening, generally, like, if a new opening comes along and you like the first one, normally it's like, oh, for fuck's sake, come on, you know, it's not as good as the first one, but I like them. I like them both. Both the opening and the ending for the first half of the season, and the opening and the ending for this half of the season are good. So cool. Look how bright I am. Fucking hell. It's mental. That's the fucking sun deciding to come out for the first time today. Because, you know, I'm fucking recording, and it fucking has to do it, doesn't it? Every fucking time, without fail. Okay. That's better. Not as bright. So, yeah. So we're focused on Yayoi this episode. So it kind of showed what she was beforehand, where she was sort of a musician. I'm guessing she played guitar, because yeah, she was obviously, you know, cutting her fingers and whatnot, and obviously wanting guitar strings. So I'm guessing she was part of a group that did a different style of music. I feel like that's what they were talking about anyway. To what Rina was a part of, and what she was doing. Because obviously there was, I don't know, someone who was her friend or whatever was like, say, don't get involved with them because their style of music, like, isn't good for your psychopaths and whatnot. But yeah, she was taken in to rehabilitation for that reason. Because our Hugh ended up going past, and she was put into rehab. And yeah, I did write down before it was even like said. And I'm pretty sure they have said it in the past about like rehabilitation. Not like as soon as you're in there, you like to get out of there is pretty much like that doesn't happen. You know, once you're in, you're in there for good until, you know, either you go crazy and they execute you, or they just keep you in there until, you know, the end of time, I guess. But I did write down, it's like, yeah, of course the staff are acting nice when they really aren't. There was a shot, obviously, of the woman who was saying, you know what I mean, you're going to get out of here soon and it's going to be fine, and I'll get you those supplements. And that wasn't even the woman I was focusing on, the person who was saying it. There was the woman who was behind her who, like, had a sort of an afraid look behind her, and it's like that kind of symbolizes how this sort of society is built around, is like to be scared of people who have a slightly fucking dodgy hue. Like, if it's not fucking, you know what I mean, it's like, it's so ridiculous the way this society is like sort of being brought up into fucking fruition. Because I mean, you're basically teaching society and people to fear something that shouldn't be feared, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Just because someone's a bit like, you know what I mean, a bit more, I don't know, maybe more anxious than the normal person, or whatever, then that's something that people like teach. They should be afraid of that person. It's like, it's ridiculous. But yeah, that's what it is. Obviously, you know, they didn't obviously want to accept her guitar strings. You know, I'm not sure, like, you know, if they didn't want to give them it because of that whole thing of like art. Like, if you get too involved in art, then it ends up becoming a bad hue because of it. And I'm not sure if that's the reason why. Like, maybe they only accept things that couldn't possibly lead to that. You know, I mean, she was going for guitar strings. I didn't notice in her actual cell if she even had a guitar. You know, because I figure if she's got strings, then surely she's got a guitar in there, right? I mean, you'd think. I'm trying to have a look, but I can't. Yeah, I can't even see guitar in there. So, I mean, I don't know. But yeah, it showed you like around the cells there as well. I'm having a look. I can actually see like some people are clearly way more fucking crazy than others, and I don't know if they've been in there longer than Yayoi has. Maybe one of them's like in looks like in a very fucking bad condition, like almost like on a fucking like a hospital bed hooked up to loads of fucking monitors and shit. And there's one banging their head against the wall, which, you know, I mean, it's a cushioned cell, so I don't know if they've like opened up a fucking gaping wound in their head and then started hitting the wall, because I mean, all of them have just been, I mean, I don't know how cushioned they are, because I obviously I don't know what, I know those cells exist and they're put in there for mental patients. That's the things, like, they're for like real mental patients. It's like a rehabilitation center, but like on a fucking higher level here, and it just seems to house people who are so insane, all the way to people like Yayoi, who isn't even all that bad. Like, she's just, you know what I mean, she just has a higher hue, colour, a higher psychopath because of, you know, liking music a bit too much, or just something that's more like inherently natural. But yeah, I can't. They've got the fucking I mean, I'm not even sure if it's like, it's cool that they have it in there. I'm just wondering, like, the fact that they have, you know, like, that's kind of stuff you have to pay for to get it in there. I like that it's in there, like, because that's literally like the perfect packaging. That is literally what a packet of Ernie Ball strings looks like. I'm not sure if they needed it, but I like the fact that it's there. It's just interesting that, like, you know, they have a sort of, they have the, like, at least some kind of sponsorship to have it in there. It's cool. But yeah, so seemingly it seems like some music genres are suited more to Sybil's system than others. At least that's what I took from what that woman said. I'm guessing it's probably along the lines of, like, you know, like rock and fucking metal music and punk music is probably more in line to cause like a psychopath to go higher. You know, I can obviously I can see that happening. Whereas like more like soothing, like maybe calm classical, maybe more like, you know, slower style music is probably, you know, okay and more suited. Yeah, so Rena ended up like sort of becoming a part of or starting some kind of resistance force against Sybil, and I don't know if this is something that like, because obviously we don't know if like she just ended up walking away, right? Rena ended up walking away, so we don't know. I'm not sure how long this has been to the current time from this episode, so we don't know if Rena's still out there. It would be nice to get that story arc, like if it hasn't happened yet in the current time, if it's something that's going to happen like in the future, it will be nice to see that kind of come up again, and see how AI actually handles it. But yeah, because if they haven't taken it down, then that resistance force could still be alive and well. I mean, the fact that she even joined or even started this resistance force was because she needed, like, once the AI got put in, that's when she realized that the civil system it's ridiculous and needs to be sorted out. So yeah, it's like one of those things where it's like, you know, you have to kind of, it's such a weird sort of grey area, because you have, you know what I mean, like, obviously would all agree that the civil system is fucking stupid, like it's completely wrong. You know what I mean? And but then, like, you know, obviously they've got fucking like Molotov cocktails and shit like that, and it's like, well, fuck. It's like it becomes like a sort of you know, like a civil war kind of situation. Then you put the lives of everyone like involved on the line. So yeah, it's kind of nuts, you know what I mean? I do want to kind of go with the like Rena and everyone, be like, yeah, fucking go against this system because it's fucking shitty, it sucks, you know what I mean? But then every one of the main characters is a part of the system, you know what I mean? And they fucking enforce that system. So, you know, I'm wondering if at some point they're gonna have to go against the system, you know what I mean? But how would they do that without you know, because then you can't use the dominators and shit like that. But I don't know. Yeah, I got confused with the fucking with Sasayama and the guy who had the hostage. His original crime coefficient number was at like 98, right? And then it went up to like past 300 after the hostage got away. Is that right? Or was the original crime coefficient number 98 was the one that was the hostage? But I don't think it was, because you mentioned that the hostage has a high number as well. Why don't we just take them both out? That's what he said. I'm guessing his just went up, and he probably lost his cool because he lost his hostage, which was his way out. So he had nothing else he could do. So that's why it probably shot up, I guess. I'm guessing that's what it is anyway. But yeah, and yeah, finally, I think like Kogami's sort of like tactics this episode very underhanded, considering like what he was doing with like Iyoi, and like it's like, you know, coaxing her out, being like, oh, I've got some Ernie ball strings here, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like giving her sort of it's not really something you can really be cast as like, you know, it is sort of like a bribe, like, you know what I mean? It's like, well, if you come out, I'll give you these. You know what I mean? It's a bit fucking. It is very underhanded, but you know, he does things for the right reasons, you know. So, you know, because his fucking instincts are generally always right, Kogami's. You know what I mean? So yeah, you gotta trust the guy. But yeah, that is all. So, thank you everybody for watching. In the description below, I have links to certain things. One of them is the Discord. I urge everyone to go over there, especially if you want me to react to a certain show, because that's where polls and things start. Also, if you just want to come over and speak to me in the community, you're free to do that as well. And also Patreon. So Patreon, obviously, you know, you can choose to basically subscribe to me like every month, and depending on how much you pay depends on what like tiers and rewards you get. So you know, going down the tiers, there's the early access, which is the $5 a month. That gives you access to all the Patreon shows I do a week early, and you get 4 episodes of all of them a week as opposed to the usual 2 that the general public get. So if you're coming for more reactions from me more frequently, you want to get the early access. Full length, that's $10 a month. So if you want to see my full and unedited reactions to all of the shows I do, everything I react to gets a full length, then that's where you want to go. Exclusive tier, that is the $15 a month. So for that you get access to a bonus show which I'm currently doing, which is Parasite. So if you want to see me react to that while it's airing, that's where you'll need to go. Also, all OVA reactions and all movie reactions go into the exclusive tier as well. $50 a month, that's the elite tier. So for that you get a choice of a show that you want me to react to, and I will react to it. It'll go to the back of the list and I'll get round to it eventually. It might take me a while because I think there's about 7 shows in there, so it might take me a while to get through them and get your show. But if you want to cut the list, you know, cut the queue and go to the very front so that your show will be reacted to next, then you want to get the God tier, which is $100. So the only rules across those last 2 tiers are that it must be a show that's 150 episodes or less, and it must be a show that is a show that I've never seen before. Those last 2 tiers are also cumulative across months. So obviously with my Patreon being set up on a pay monthly basis, if you pay like $100 the first month, that means your show is on there, and that means you don't need to continue paying every month to keep your show on the list until I watch it. But if you do keep paying every month, then every time you pay you get a choice of a show. Yeah, so if you pay like, you know, the first month, get your show on the list. Second month comes along, you pay again, you get another choice of a show. Yeah, but that is all. So thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.